Okay, I'm just going to show some work from chapter 9-1, midpoint and distance formula. This is just going to be number 31 and 32. I'll show you the answers for the other ones after it's due. But I wanted to explain this circle problem and the triangle problem, especially because you're going to have to do a discussion question using these formulas. So, okay, number 31. Circle O has a diameter AB. A is at -6, -2. B is at -3, 4. Find the center of the circle and the length of the diameter. Nothing here says to graph, but it is nice to have a visual of what it would look like on a graph. So I went ahead and graphed A and B. So this is a diameter. And we're looking at a circle. Might look something like this. To find the length, ideally we would just count, but because it's diagonal, we can't just count. We'll have to use the distance formula. So step 1 in finding the length is using the distance formula. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And here are our points. So when you plug the negative in, -3 minus -6, that's going to become addition. Same thing here, 4 minus -2, it's going to become addition. 3 squared is 9, 6 squared is 36. You end up with the square root of 45. I really want you doing simplest radical form. So 45 is 9 times 5. Square root the 9, put a 3 on the outside. 3 square root 5 is a good answer. That is approximately 6.78. So if we go back to the graph, we should count about 6. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that does look about right. But again, I do want your answers in simplest radical form. Okay. So now to find the center, we will do midpoint formula. Write the formula down so you have it memorized. It's used a lot in this chapter. Again, here are our points. So add your x's together, divide by 2. Add your y's together, divide by 2. -9/2, comma, 2/2. -9/2, comma, 1. So here is our midpoint. Looking at the picture, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's -4.5, comma, 1. That's the center of this circle. Okay, so it's a two-part problem. Find the center and the length of the diameter. The length would be 3 square root 5. The center, -9/2, comma, 1. Okay, moving on to number 32, the perimeter of a triangle. It says our vertices are 1, -3, -4, 9, and -2, 1. Vertices just means the points of the triangle. So again, it's nice to see this on graph paper. It didn't say to graph, but there's a lot of graphing in this chapter, and the more you visualize the problem, the better off you are. So take a moment, get out your graph paper, and plot the vertices. Here's your triangle. It's kind of strange looking. So if we want to find the perimeter, we need to know all of these lengths. So I labeled my points A, B, and C. A, B, and C. And I'm going to find the distance from A to B, and the distance from B to C, and then the distance from C to A. So you need to use distance formula between all the points. Here's the work. The distance from A to B, -2 minus -4 squared. 1 minus 9 squared, 2 squared. Be really careful about squaring your negatives. Negative 8 squared leads you to the square root of 68. Then you'll do the distance between the two other points, B and C. Negative 4 minus 1 squared, 9 minus a negative 3 squared. 25 plus 144, the square root of 169, you get a nice integer, 13. Lastly, do the distance between the remaining points, C and A. The square root of 9 plus 16, square root of 25 is 5. So to find a perimeter, you need to add all those side lengths together. We get 18 plus the square root of 68. Breaking 68 down, it is 4 times 17. The square root of 4 is 2. So our perimeter is 18 plus 2 square root 17, complex number. The reason I wanted to show you this work and make sure you understand it is because there's a required discussion question in this section asking you to classify a triangle. So this is what you'll do. You find all three distances, all three side lengths of your triangle, and you know that if a triangle has two side lengths the same, you're going to call it isosceles. If all three are the same, equilateral. This triangle has three completely different side lengths, so it would be called scalene. So in your discussion question, I give you a triangle. You need to find the length of each side and then classify it. Scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. You will have to type it up using words explaining the process and your answer, and then it's going to be posted. So it is important with online learning that there is some sort of discussion and that you have writing, so you can't just, be copying. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions about this problem or the discussion question. And in the future, I hope to be posting Khan Academy videos, but that just didn't work for this section, so hopefully this works.